Evening all, and welcome to episode 65 of Kerbalism. Now we are here at our Duna probe, and the reason we're here is because we have a problem. Somehow, between transferring all the wonderful data we have in our old systems to the new, fantastic unlocked information we have, somebody forgot to put either a semicolon in somewhere, or didn't dot an I and cross a T or something like that, and all our biome data, scanning data, everything is missing. We have no information whatsoever for any astral body. I've checked out Nimbus and Kerbin and the Moon, and also the two here that we've done, and yeah, it's all just gone for some reason. I don't know why. It's just lost in translation, I suppose, between one database to another one. And yes, of course, this makes our R&D guys back on Kerbin a little bit annoyed. You know, all the work and effort they put in to do it has just disappeared into nothing. However, this probe, even though it has a damaged RCS thruster there, is still here and is still operational. We don't have any chance to get here, but it does have fuel on board, quite a bit of it. So, I'm thinking we've got 190 days before this has to return to Kerbin. And I'm not sure how much the burn is to get back to Kerbin, because I didn't think about that. But I'm thinking we might be able to actually get this back to Duna, back to some form of orbit of it, and scan Duna again. Get it scanning. Maybe go over to I can scan that as well, and then hopefully slingshot our way out to get back. There is a way I could use, I think, Ike's gravity from Duna to slingshot myself out or something. I don't know. I'd make that up as I come to it, see what happens to it. But more importantly, I think getting the biome information and getting where water is on the surface is going to be very important. If we're going to send Kerbals to Duna, they need to be able to live here. They need to be able to survive. So I need to know where I can mine water for fuel and food and generally all the bits and stuff that Kerbals need to stay alive. So let's set up ourselves a maneuver and see if I can get back to some form of polar orbit around Duna. Well, that was surprisingly easy. I set up a maneuver here out of our apps, which obviously we'll come round to in a long time. Actually, it's going to be 4 days before we get here, but hey ho. And yeah, by doing a small burn, 132 meters a second, we will come back down to Duna, fly out again, hit Ike, and then end up in a sort of polar orbit, which really helps saving a lot of fuel. We won't actually hit Ike, we'll be 107 kilometers away from that, so we'll be fine with that. But yeah, that will put us on a pretty much polar orbit. Then all I need to do is slow down here to get us in a kind of circular orbit. So yeah, that was extremely surprising and very welcome. So let's fast forward around to this one. Round and round and round we go. Hopefully we'll still have signal when we get there. It won't be blocked off by anything. Nope, looks good. And point ourselves in the right direction. I'm not going to be using the RCS because it's broken. Basically, that's I think if I use it, obviously it only fire on this side here. Well, that one will fire, but this one won't. This one's completely knackered. And luckily it's not venting RCS. It's let's get rid of that. No, it's not renting any more propellant, which is odd. But yeah, I suppose I could just disable this one. That would probably make sense. Oh, I could use the RCS to manoeuvre around, and I should do really to make this craft lighter. I think that's gonna be kind of an idea there. So let's enable those by the engine as well. There we go. Then I can enable the RCS, and now I fire up. Even though I missed my burn, they will fire and help us. Yeah, and obviously that will make the craft lighter, which is kind of what we want. So the lighter it is, the less fuel it uses to move around. This is obviously a very efficient engine, but not very powerful, so obviously only good for a small craft. But There we go. I think that's going to be good. Let's tick that one off, and we need to fire a little bit more. It's about 250, I believe, for the optimal orbit, or at least that's the speed you can time warp faster at. So I'll go down to about 300, and right, the RCS is very powerful. But yes, I'll go down to about 300, and we will try that. Let's see what we need to circularize there. If I can click on the right orbit. Not completely polar, but not really a bad thing, I suppose. Okay, that would be 308 and 299. That seems good to me. That's 210. We've still got 1,800 depth. Yeah, this is good. This is very, very good. We are fine. Ooh. And fire the engines again. There we go. There's some weird blackness going on there. Don't know if you can see that on the camera. Oh, actually, that might just be that I'm seeing the circle of the clouds above it, and that's actually lower, and there's a valley there or something. I think that's probably what that is. Yeah, because obviously planets aren't round. They are great big fluffy balls of, well, mountainy rocky stuff. So yeah. Okay, so there we go. 296 and 306. That should be good enough to scan, which it is. It is doing that now. They should both say ideal. Yes and yes. Let's bring up our map. I like this. I like that this menu now has sort of a context menu inside it, so I can just click one or the other, or whichever one I want. But that's Kerbin. We don't want Kerbin. We want Duna. There we go. So yeah, as you can see, the map has somehow been just blanked for some reason. I'm not sure what happened there. It's lost in translation. I'm going to simply say that whilst they were transferring the data from the old system to the new one, it went wrong and it didn't scan properly, or the old data is not compatible with the new system or something, which doesn't make any sense because then we're scanning with an old scanner. So yeah, the database got corrupted. There we go. That's what happened. And now they redo it. So let's leave this going for a little bit. I just want to see what it's like on the poles. I want to know if I'm high enough to get a scan there. The map isn't also updating as well. That's odd. Day, night, colour, grid. You just have to push the button to reset it every time now. That's okay. That's not a problem really. We've got our script called because our sensors are obviously in the dark and they've had to shut down. We'll come back to the sun. We've got a weird thing on the cursor there, but and they open up again. So we won't get the back end of Kerbal of Duna scanned, but we will get this side of it done. And obviously Duna is spinning as well, so yeah, that's not such a bad thing. The only thing I need to do is straighten up the orbit slightly. It will need to. If I, not quite sure what's going on with my cursor here. Bear me a moment. Nope, fix that. If I set that as my target, then I will know where my level flight is, and I can do something like that. And would just allow us to scan, because you see here along the top we're going to miss this whole area on the top here, and there'll be a bit along the bottom as well. So yeah, you can see there's a whole gap there. So if you get the orbit more polar, more looking at the planet straight up, then it will be able to scan this top bit here. Otherwise we'll miss a circle off there and a circle off the bottom, which that looks like where the frosting is. So we kind of want to know what that is, just in case our Kerbals get hungry for dessert. Now, I'm not sure, as I said, what the Delta V requirements to get home is. So, I know we want to bring this home because we get wonderful science and money for that. So that would be the ideal thing to do. But I'm not entirely fussed about that, if I'm completely honest with you. I'm not all that worried about sort of bringing this home. If we can't bring it home, then we can't. Simple as that. It's just, you just can't get back. So that's not really a problem. But what I would really like to do is to have the opportunity to do it, or at least the opportunity to rescue it. So when we send our ship here to explore Duna with our Kerbals, we could pick it up and bring it home. So I don't want to destroy it at any point. I am going to do that wonderful maneuver again to try and go up and over onto Ike. And then we'll see whatever it takes to get home. I'm not sure. I don't know. But yes, if I now accelerate time here, and we'll go over the poles. We'll see here that our probe goes much higher on there. And yeah, so let's refresh that map. And it's completely scanned the top there. So that means that it will do the same on the bottom, and we will get a full makeup of Duna once again. And once we've got a certain percentage, I'm not sure how much it is, I can't remember, we will be able to then bring up our overlays and see where all the wonderful resources are hiding. And also figure out why there's one line of cloud here that seems to just stop. It's very strange. Very, very odd. I wonder if that's dust storms or something. I do know there are mods out that add dust storms. They are visual, they're not actually dust storms, because that would be awesome if they were. That would be really, really good. But I wonder if that's what that is there. Obviously, I'm just using environmental visual enhancements without Scatterer, because I've always had issues with the water on Scatterer. It looks pretty, but it really slows the game down. So I'll stick with the stock water and light cloud cover. Don't want really heavy cloud cover and all them thunderstorms and stuff. Just light cloud cover. I like that. But anyway, I will let that carry on scanning and doing its thing. And then we'll move on to Ike and scan that. However, Duna isn't the only place we lost the maps for. We also lost the maps for home. Here, and home is a long way away. Yeah, if I come in, you'll see. Oh, okay. We now have a water map for Kerbal. Ooh, that's interesting. And for the moon, that's not the same water map we had before, though. And do we have one for Minmus then? Maybe they managed to recover some data after all. We have a map for Mir. Well, something certainly happened, because Minmus didn't have any water on it whatsoever. Minmus was a complete dry place with a tiny little bit at the top which wasn't even worth it. Now it's covered in water, and the moon isn't. The moon has a bit around the South Pole and a bit up here. What about ore? How you doing for ore? You're alright for ore, but well, I'm very, very confused now, because we didn't count that. I wonder, let's go back to Duna. Yeah, water. No, you get no water. What about Ike? Focus on Ike. Water. No. Ore. Well, that's very strange. The reason I noticed this wasn't working is because I was going to build another refueling station, and I thought, rather than have it in orbit at the moon, I was going to land it on the moon. That was kind of my idea. I was going to stick it down on the moon itself and have ships land on it and come back again. And that was when I discovered that I had no resource map of the moon. It was just missing. So, but now it's back. And more importantly, it's different. It is different. We have different levels of water. That's very strange. That must be something to do with updating the mods from one. Although ScanSat doesn't add water or ore to the game. That's a default Kerbal thing. So I'm not entirely sure what's happened here, but something has happened, and we now have something different here. I might try relearn the game a couple of times and see what happens to find out. I think I will also send a resource scanner up to the moon and to Mimbus, and one for Kerbal as well, just to feel like that was proper, that I had to scan these, because I'm not sure what's going on there. But that does mean that we could now land on Mimbus instead. Do any of the planes have plane there? No, none of the planes have water. That's a little unfortunate. Some down there, but no, it seems to be the top of the mountains that all have water. That's not an issue because that is pretty flat there, so I could. Seems to be all the slopes that have water. Not typical. Anyway, that's not really an issue. We've got plenty of places that could. Well, that's pretty far up there, so we could happily land anywhere. And Mimbus is very easy to land on because it's like that. You can pretty much get into orbit with a jetpack. I think you need a bit more than a jetpack, but it's pretty close. Pretty close to getting there with a jetpack. So sticking a refueling station on Mimbus, have it generate the fuel, and then just have ships come and return to orbit of Kerbal, which is over there, and refill our metal and rocket storage, which I renamed. Although I will build a space station there. I think that's going to probably be the way to do it. I would like all the fuel to be at Kerbal rather than having to have my ships come to Mimbus and then go out again. Mainly because Mimbus is not level, as you can see. Mimbus is on an inclination, so it's not level, so it's a bit awkward to get to refuel to then go out to other places. I'd rather bring the fuel back to Kerbal and from there go off to wherever it is we want to go to. So okay, the scanner will carry on there. I am going to launch some scanners to Kerbal, the moon, and Mimbus, and have them do their scan things. We have got some other unlocks from ScanSat as well. We've got some new scanners and things for that, so that will give me some more science as well, which is good. Which is always good. We always want science. And yeah, then I will get on to building a new station, because I want something that obviously we're going to use the metal parts in here. It's probably not enough to build a whole station from it, so I might send the station up in segments and then do my trick of swapping it out for a welded version. But we'll definitely incorporate the metal and rocket storage because, well, we want to be able to build things in space because it's a lot easier. So that's what I'm going to do. I will design a station, I will send probes out to here, and I'll tell the seagulls to be quiet, and then I shall be back. So, if we want to build a refueling depot on Mimbus and maybe something from the moon at a later date, the first thing we need to do is build a communications network to talk to them. I might want to remote control something on the far side of the planet and maybe even remote control things down there to build them. So I definitely want to have control there because I've had issues in the past where I do a manoeuvre and then there's no signal and it all goes terribly wrong. So yes, that's where this craft comes in. It's got 6 satellites on it. It's going to deploy 3 around the moon and 3 around Mimbus, and hopefully that will give me 24-hour coverage of, well, not 24 hour, 6 hour, because Kerbal day, coverage of everywhere on the planet, on the planetoid. So yes, that's the idea. This also, the satellites there, they use the monopropellant engines from near future. Thanks to Nod for pointing them out. They are very efficient and very, very good, actually. They seem like a good idea to just have one engine to do everything you need to do, so that makes sense. So thanks for that, and we'll see just how efficient they all are once we get up to the moon, or actually to orbit. And after successfully getting up into orbit of Kerbal, we now just have to make the burn to the moon. And this here is the engine array that I was speaking about before. It uses monopropellant by all these little engines, and it's not efficient. Not what I said before. Not really super efficient, but it basically means that I only had to take one monopropellant tank rather than having to take multiple tanks or different things for different things. Rather than having to have like fuel here and fuel here, you see the tiny little tanks, and they're ideal for just orbiting between different things. So we fire up the engines. The effects are quite cool as well. They are very, very spectacular looking, and yeah, it's a long old burn. It's sort of nearly a 3-minute burn, but we will do this and then we will head out to the moon, hopefully avoiding our debris as we come by it. This should fall back to Kerbal, hope. That's a very big fuel tank, so I'm a little bit worried about that one. Nope, we gotta pass it. There's our original engine. Yes. Okay, so we will reset that as our target, and we will head off to the moon. And here we are, 5 hours later, at the moon. Nice and easy trip over, just yeah, done exactly what we need to do. I've got a maneuver set up to orbit here. I want to get my periaps down to about 50 and my perhaps at 300, and then I can deploy a satellite here and put it into a 300 orbit, and then go around, and I'm not sure if it's once or twice I want to go around to put the next one down, so they're at 3 different orbits. About 300k is about right for that. That should cover everything, and I'm thinking going down the orbit and come back up again twice is enough to set these satellites apart separately. So that's the plan anyway, and I missed my burn, but not a problem. So yeah, we'll set our perhaps down to 300k, deploy our first satellite, and then go around and see whether it's the right sort of pace to be. So we are 3 and a bit minutes out, and there's some things I need to actually do. Firstly, these are all equipped with 2 antennas. They've got the Communitron, and then they've got the big dish on the front. The dish is designed to talk to Kerbal. The Communitron is designed to be a relay to transfer back to whatever crafts are on the moon or in orbit of the moon. But of course, I need to enable them all as a relay. I don't know what I'd do without this, the ability to point the camera at a target. That would really mess me up a bit there. So yes, there's that there. Also, the main ship has got an antenna as well, which I'm going to switch to a relay as well. That way, I'm not sure whether, I think the main dish can talk to a relay and then the relay bounce it back. So that shouldn't particularly matter, but I'm just going to do that just in case. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but yeah. So let's fast forward time to our perhaps, which is coming up here, and we need to deploy one of these satellites. So let's start with this one, shall we? We will decouple this, and it's going to fly forward into that there. So here we go. It's going to bonk into the front there, I think. There we are. And what I'm hoping is it can jar itself free. Which is going to do, by the looks of things, it's going to automatically fly out. It's very good. These got mega batteries on them. I think they go for like 4 days in the shade, so yeah, we're okay for that. But let's deploy the solar panels and point ourselves prograde. Unlock that because it was disabled, so that I was having issues with Kerbal Engineer telling me that when these other tanks were all unlocked, it could use all the fuel in one go. It was ignoring that these couplers are supposed to stop fuel flow. So Yeah, not quite sure about that. But wow, those are really powerful engines. Yeah, we actually need to. Oh, something exploded. I don't know what that was, but we're okay. So, right, we need to do something like this. I want to bring up my. I want to become circular, basically. But I want to make sure it does stay circular. So 209, 209, that'll do. That'll do. Whoa. Wow, is this twitchy? Wow. Right. And I'll just fire up the engine now, I think. Yeah, this has got ridiculous amounts of delta V in it. Those engines are really quite impressive. They do burn through the fuel, obviously. But well, regardless, that is quite impressive, to be honest with you. Okay, there we go. That's 302, 297. What if pointing towards target's going to help here, or whether it's pointing away from it? What I do? It's pointing away from it. It's pointing away from the target. That'll do. That looks good enough to me. So there is one satellite in orbit. Let's go back to. Wow, we're already 4K away from that one. Dear, oh dear. Aha. We need to enable relays because that's what I think we are. Are we a relay? Are we called a relay? Do rename vessel Comsnet relay. Comsnet relay. Noon 1. There we go. Now we need to go back to this one. It's not a relay, so I'm going to rename it. I'm going to actually rename this. Rename vessel. This is going to be Comsnet, and it is a probe. So, all we need to do is, well, let's go around to our periap, shall we? And see. So, when we get to here, we want that one to be either there or there. Now, it's going to be there once we get down here, so maybe going up to that side is the better idea here. Walk around again. Let's see. Oh, we lost contact with it. That's yeah, we can't see that one there. That's okay. That's okay. We can use this to test our system once it's working. Hopefully, once it's working. I've never really done this sort of deployment before, where you're making sure everything's the right side. I've always done things that are much closer and relied on lots of satellites. That's not quite right. If I put that there, it wants to be there and there. But you've got. I suppose it doesn't matter so long as they can all see each other, and that cannot see that one there. So. I think we'll deploy one anyway, and we can always adjust their orbits later. Not really a problem, is it? I'm not sure what exploded. I can't see. I'm guessing something like the Dactycoupler or something got caught in kaboom. Don't know. I do not know. But anyway, let's decouple that one. It's going to clang into the front, and unfortunately isn't going to do it, so we'll just bobble it out that way. Donk. There we go. Do the same. Then the solar panels. Activate the engine. Add a maneuver here to circularize. That was too far. That'll do. They're on slightly different orbits, so I will have to do a bit of tiny tweaking to get this right. But yeah, I think this is going to work. And we shall continue our satellite deployment next time. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope to see you again in the next one. And until then, as always, have fun.